Hello everyone, it's Liam Naden here again, and wow, hard to believe we're at our milestone 50th episode. Well, I've certainly enjoyed preparing these podcasts and bringing this information to you, and I've also found it heartening and humbling actually to have received all the many emails I have from people who've found the information helpful in saving and strengthening their marriage. And if you're listening, I'm aware, very aware, that your marriage or relationship is probably causing you a lot of pain right now. Perhaps your spouse wants to leave or is telling you they're no longer in love with you, or perhaps they might have even met someone else. But whatever your situation, I know without a doubt that the right information and support can give you the things you need to not only save your marriage, but to make it better, stronger and happier than it has been in the past. And that's what these podcasts are all about. And by the way, if you really want to quickly get your marriage back on track, I highly recommend that you take a look at my two programs. There's the 7-day Stop Your Divorce program and the 30-day Save Your Marriage and Relationship Transformation program. And in these podcasts, I can really only give you a few ideas. I mean, they are ideas that are definitely going to help you for sure. But my programs contain the complete step-by-step actions that are proven to work and are very, very effective. So if you like what you hear here, if my ideas resonate with you, then please check out my marriage programs. And all the details are on my website, liamnaden.com. Okay, well today I want to talk about 3 essential steps or phases that you must go through if you want to save your marriage. Now, in all the study I've done of what makes marriages successful or unsuccessful, and in particular what takes a couple from the brink of divorce to actually rebuilding their relationship, I've found that in every single case, the relationship or marriage has gone through 3 phases. Now, this is really interesting because what it means is that it doesn't matter what the specifics of a situation are. It means that success in saving a marriage always follows this particular pattern. And of course, relationships, as I've discovered, really are about patterns. And that's good news for you in your situation, because it means that it doesn't matter what's going on for you at the moment, specifically. I mean, perhaps your husband or your wife has told you they want to end your marriage. They might have said they don't love you anymore. They might have even got involved with someone else, perhaps even having an affair. And they might have already left and you're not having much communication, if any, with them. Perhaps things are very bitter and antagonistic between the two of you. Well, no matter what's happening, these 3 phases are going to be vital to your success in getting your marriage back together. And I'm not only going to tell you what the phases are, I'm going to show you how you can effectively apply them to your situation and make these phases work for you. Alright, well, just before we get into the 3 phases, I think it's important to realize why it's necessary to see that there are actually distinct phases in saving a marriage or relationship. You know, there are many people who contact me and they're quite frankly looking for a miracle to happen. And that's understandable. I mean, they just want their husband or their wife back. They want things to go back to the way they were when they were happy. And while positive things can happen quickly, it really isn't that helpful to expect a miracle to happen overnight. Now, if you want to save your marriage, you're going to need to do a few things, because otherwise it's simply not going to happen. And in fact, you need 4 things, I believe, to save your marriage. The first thing you need is you need a plan. Now, a plan is not vague hope or wishful thinking. A plan is a methodical system with a defined set of steps arranged in order to take you from where you are to where you want to be. To your goal, in other words, which obviously, in this case, is a happy, loving marriage with your spouse. So it's the first thing you need. Now the second thing you need, in addition to a plan, is you need the right plan. Now this seems obvious as well, doesn't it? But you need a plan that is going to work for you. And that's what my programs are. They're definite steps that are proven to work. So it's no good just having any plan. You need to pick the right plan. And the third thing you need is you need to implement the plan. So this means you need to work it. Once you have a plan and it's the right one, it's one that will work, nothing is going to happen if you don't do anything with it. And sometimes that might involve doing things that are new or uncomfortable. In fact, it probably will. But if you really want what you are seeking, if you really want to save your marriage, then you need to tell yourself that despite all your fears and doubts, whatever plan you've chosen, you're going to take action. And you're going to take a lot of action and just go for it. And the fourth thing you need, and this is just as important as the other three, is that you need persistence. You need determination and stamina. Some of, or even many of the things you do might not go as you expect. They might not go right the first time. They might not even go right the second time you try it. And some of the things that happen to you might even be the opposite of what you want or expect. But this is the nature of achieving anything in life, including saving your marriage. It's about not giving up. It's not taking no for an answer. Now, of course, this isn't easy to do, which is why many, if not most people, actually give up on anything, not just saving their marriage. But although it isn't easy to do, it is simple. So get the right plan, take action, and keep taking action, modifying it if necessary, until you get the result you want. That's it. Alright, well, with that in mind, let's have a look now at the 3 phases of saving your marriage. And these 3 phases are actually, in essence, a plan. So as we go through, I encourage you to take notes, and with each new idea or concept, ask yourself this question: what can I do and what will I do to implement this part of the plan right now? So what can I do and what will I do to implement this part of the plan right now? And by the way, if you're a Growing in Love for Life subscriber, you will find a worksheet in the members area that goes along with this podcast, which summarizes all the steps and which you can download and use. And I really encourage you to do that. Alright, so let's begin and look at the first of the 3 phases that you must go through to save your marriage. And that phase number 1, is removing all negativity. Okay, now before you dismiss this as unrealistic, let me explain what I mean by this and how you can achieve it, no matter how negative your own situation might appear at the moment. Many people who are facing the end of their marriage want to know the answer to one question, and that is simply, how do I get my husband or wife to love me again? They say to me, after all, I still love them. I just want them to respond to my love by loving me back. If they just do that, everything could start to get back on track in our marriage. And that's a very valid sort of feeling, and maybe you have that feeling as well. But here's the truth: you're never going to be able to rebuild love with your spouse if there's a wall of negativity between you. Now, how you do this, how you remove the negativity specifically, is something I go into great detail about in my programs, but I want you to think about this. You can never create anything positive from something negative. Really think about that statement. You can never create anything positive from something negative. The negative only brings more negative. So you need to stop all, and I mean all, negative thoughts, feelings, and actions right now. Now hang in with me here, because I hear you saying, well, that's all very well for you to say, but you don't understand my situation. There's just too much hurt there between my spouse and me.